Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's working? Hello. All right, very good. So good afternoon, everyone. Okay. So thank you for coming here today, and also thank you for TMRS, right, to inviting me to also share my perspective, right, about how GWM actually transforming the automotive industry here, right. So actually, this is a story, okay, that I can share looking back, okay, from what we are at today, 2 years now. But again, I was trying to actually rewind back, okay, all the thought process and then the thinking behind, right? How did we actually get us where we are today? Just a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me already, okay, my name is Narong. Okay, I'm currently a managing director of Great Wall Motors. So actually starting working here since 2020. So prior to that, actually I spent almost 2.5 years working on my own consulting project. I have my own company called Deep My Group. And also I also engage in many startup projects, especially on new and used car platform. And I also engage in one of the projects to actually introduce the electric bus and also a small EV car into Thailand and setting up a company called Mobility One. So prior to that, I actually spent 16 years, okay, with Ford Motor Company in various job positions. Okay, I also have a chance to also work in many assignments for both Thailand, India, and Indonesia. And prior to that, I spent actually 5 years in construction machinery business with Caterpillar, and then actually spending time in the US and then Singapore, and also responsible for 5 countries, including Thai, Cambodia, Laos, Bangladesh, and also Sri Lanka. So really get a chance to actually experience that market firsthand. And again, I also get a chance to also giving this kind of the same speech, okay, to recently to both Chulalongkorn and Thammasat University, who actually interested to actually understand, okay, the leadership in this disruptive world. So actually, I spent this actually almost 3 hours version, and I'll try to compact this into a 20-minute version, okay. Again, so I want to set the stage here on the world that we live. Okay, I feel, okay, that the world is changing so fast, okay, and then we are now living in this world, what we call a VUCA world. I think you all know, right? And then for people who is actually around my age, you can see that I think the timings change so fast. It's not like when I'm back in 19s, okay? Actually, I'm not that old at death, okay? But I'm 53 now, so, okay? I can actually really sense that the world is changing fast. And then it's so vulnerable, okay? It's volatile, okay? Changing every day. It's uncertain, okay? It's also complex and also ambiguity here, right? So I think you can see a lot of the issue here that actually happened here, the geopolitics, right? The energy crisis, right? The supply chain disruption that you don't normally get to see it, okay? In the old days, right? And the last VUCA world that everyone just been through, right? And then we just not sure that we already get out yet is the COVID-19 pandemic, right? But I don't think that the whole world really expect, right, to see, right, the whole thing come to the stop, right? Everything will have to set from zero again, right? There's no traffic, right? No air traffic, no traveling. Everyone get locked down into that, right? I think looking back now, I think we see the way out. But imagine yourself back 2 years ago, right, when you were locked down in your home. There's no cure, there's no vaccine, right? You don't really get to see how the world is changing. I'd like to set the stage. This is the exact time, right, when we actually first get here. We came here in year 2020. This is actually the COVID that started, right? We actually acquired and then actually buy out the factory from General Motors early of 2020, right? So the whole world is in a mess now, okay? And there is no clear path, right? How do we actually going to start? So it also led us to actually really rethink, okay, and also reinvent and reposition ourselves in the market here, right? So buying the factory is, for me, is easy, right? But how do you operate profitably in this market? how do you going to actually win in this market is another story. Coupled with this coming of the COVID-19. And not only just the changing of the world and the dynamic that I'm just mentioning or telling you, but also the automotive industry have gone to a big change in the disruptive trend. I think you all know, right? I think there's a case of the technology, which is connectivity, autonomous, ride sharing, and also electrification. So this four trend is emerging at the same time at a different rate of change. Okay, so as a new brand, we also have to take into account of the changing in this context. So we face a challenging question when we actually got here, right? The first question here is very, very important to us. We ask ourselves here that if we do not want to be just another car brand in Thailand, what would be our winning strategy, right? Again, I've just mentioned to you, right? It's easy to just buy a factory, take over the network, right? Develop a wholesale and retail, right? And then set up the business, okay? It will probably take you 3 months or 6 months, right? But this game, right, will not actually set up to be a winner at all. You will become one of the players in this tough market in Thailand, which is not going to be a game that actually we want. The next challenging question here is how to overcome, right, the challenge of being a Chinese product image, right, competing in this market where you have the Japanese competitors actually building their reputation in the last 50, 60 years, right? So not easy, right? The number 2 question here, so how do we actually overcome the insufficient dealer network, right? We are the new brand. We have 0 dealer network, right? Why we actually have around 2,000 dealer network nationwide. Toyota have around 420, right? Isuzu have about 200 and something, right? So we actually came up with 0 dealer network. And then the last, for me, the next question is for me very important because I have been in this business long enough to know that this is a very red ocean market. This is very fierce market competition here. So how do we can overcome, right, and then and play in this low to negative profit margin, right? This is not a business for anyone who know the business well to come in, right? The dealer know, okay? So a lot of people want to get out. Not many people want to get in if you get to know the bottom line. And then the last question here is how to actually quickly but firmly establish Great Wall Motor brand in Thailand. Right? So you can see that we have asking ourselves this challenging question over and over. So we actually trying to find, right, the key, the strategy, right, that we can play to win in this market, right? So we do not want just to be another players or another OEM number 10 brand followed by other competitors. So that really take us some time to really think to find a way of to win this market. So for us, this strategy will need to set us apart from competitors, and we need to be a very unique brand. So we believe that I think being unique, being differentiated, okay, is the first important thing that people will remember, okay, apart from being number 1. So if you confuse this together, and then if you want to build and then try to be number 1 from the sale volume standpoint, it will actually dilute you from trying to the right strategy. So we have to actually ask ourselves and fighting on the table here, right? Because we know how to build volume. I know how to build volume, right? But being a differentiated brand, right? Being a different brand, a unique brand, is what we decided to do first. So fast forward here, okay? There was so many discussion going on. I just trying to paint the picture for you. I was number 20, right? Well, we actually go up now to almost 270 people now, right? So everything that you're actually seeing here is actually came from the drawing in the meeting room, right? So all the things that we actually invented here is actually happened here in Thailand, in the first market, okay? No Great Wall Motors market have actually implemented this business model before, right? So then we come up with 3 key strategies that we think, okay, could let us win this market. So number 1, okay, we see the white space, okay, in the XEV. When I call XEV, I mean that this is all kind of the vehicle that has been driven by electric motor, which including hybrid car, plug-in hybrid, and battery EV, right? So we see that I think there is no clear actually market leader in this in this market. And then I think statistic data show that I think this segment actually will actually go up from 6% last year to almost 35% in year 2025. So there's a big growing of the potential of the xEV market in Thailand. And then this is where our specialty in China. Number two, right, the key strategy here is we want to be a brand, right, that actually building the brand alongside with the consumer, okay? Or some other brand will call it a user-centric brand. But we do not want to actually implement the user-centric, just a nice slogan on the board. We actually change inside the organization the way we actually hear the voice of the consumer, the way we react, and the way we making impact to our business. I will get to that in a minute. And lastly, we actually taking that voice, okay, to also implement the new user experience or new retail in automotive. Taking all this painful experience that we actually doing some survey. Along with that, okay, we also actually making an announcement of the Mission 9 in 3. So Mission 9 in 3 meaning that we will be launching 9 electric vehicle xEV product into Thai market within 3 years. So if you in this automotive market, right, you can see the speed of launch, okay, which is massive, okay. This is not a mobile phone, by the way. Launching 9 products in 3 years in automotive, if you actually get into this business, you will know it requires a lot of preparations, okay, from market research, from engineering, from production side, from marketing side. I've never been actually introduced this kind of many products before. For me, it's a big commitment. We also do a lot of the global benchmarking. This is some of the key example of the global brand that we actually benchmark with. We're actually looking at Apple from the perspective of how they actually setting up their retail store, how they actually building up their capability of their Apple genius, the people, the way they manage it, the online and offline experience. We also benchmark with Tesla and how they managing the total online business transaction, right? We also benchmark with NIO, which is one of the fast startup in EV in China, in terms of how they manage the user operation side. Same as Xiaopeng, which is coming next in the same manner. And we also study and then benchmarking with Lazada in terms of how they're managing the whole e-commerce and logistics. Okay, so there's no many study that we actually putting and bringing on the table. Not only that, okay, we also conduct a 2 weeks long survey, right? This is not a survey by phone. Okay, this is the in person. Right, we actually engage all the management, right, from even the president, both Thai and Chinese, to really go out and visiting and then making chance to meet with the Thai consumers in all walks of life. Okay, I was also talking to the students at the university, also talking to the people who driving the van or even people commuting to work and looking to buy a new car, right? So I think this is the way we actually really listen to their voice. And then they also idea about how mobility in their concept, right? What is their purchasing criteria? What is their insight about the electric vehicle? And then how they're going to open up for the market potential here. Again, I need to fast forward this a little bit here. But we're also doing this survey with NIDA for 2 years in a row to really understand, right, the Thai consumer from the perspective of their purchasing decision and purchasing criteria on the electric vehicle. What are their main, what are their concerns, and what are their key decision points? And then one of the insights that we also received from this 2-year survey is Thai consumers are actually more open up from the electric vehicle, much better than our expectation, right? They have actually learned and then they actually understand it. And then they also have a very good perception about Chinese electric vehicle, because in China, I think this is a market where we're taking the lead, right? So any electric vehicle that comes from China doesn't actually come with this negative bad image, right? So I think this is some of the insight that we also actually receiving from the survey. We also did almost 80 dealer survey, okay, talking to various dealers from many brands, okay, about the pain point from the consumer side and from the dealer point of view. And we know that one of the pain points that we actually got is the The overall experience from the transaction price is not present. Okay, the Thai consumer doesn't like the way, okay, the retail is transact, because when you want to buy the car now, you have to go around and shop. I think statistically, I think you need to shop around 5 showrooms to get the best deal. And once you think you get the best deal, and you're happy, you pay the deposit, maybe you get a car, right? Tomorrow your friend will say that he will get the car, probably 5,000 baht cheaper than you, right? It's actually happened. This is one of the pain points, right? This is not win-win to anyone. The dealer who will offer you that kind of the discount, do you think that they're making money? No. Sometimes they also have to get rid of their stock, okay, in order to sell it. So for me, it's a vicious circle, okay? It's not creating any value added into the system at all. The test drive is not done properly, okay? Because some of the dealers want to preserve their test drive unit, right? So they didn't actually allow the test drive to be freely, and then like you actually try out your mobile phone, okay? So you go to the showroom today, asking for a test drive, you might get a chance to drive along, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers. Right? And then they're trying just to protect that. And also the maintenance is not easy, okay? It's very complex. You have to wait until weekend, Saturday and Sunday to call up and try to book your service time. And if you find out that it will be fully booked, then you have to wait maybe 2 weeks. I think I saw some of my friends have to take the day off, bringing the car to the service center. This is happened, right? And also the technology in the showroom is actually outdated. So the question here is, how can GWM really disrupt the whole traditional dealer business model? Okay. So we actually want to integrate, okay, and building the platform, okay, that can integrate both online and offline experience together here. So for online, it will include some of the transactions that the customer can be easily done by themselves. For example, like browsing for the car, asking for the comments from their friends or guru, right? Even book the car themselves. But some of the offline experience that I think still need the customer or the user to go out and then feel it. Like maybe book it at the showroom or test drive the car, get delivery of the car, and also maybe maintenance of the car, right? So the question here is, how can we integrate this whole online and offline into one platform to provide a seamless experience to our consumer, right? At one point, okay, before we came up with this idea, we actually even think of going fully online, right? We have a business model that can go fully online. But after a lot of careful consideration here, we thought that it's probably not the right time yet, right, to buy a 1 million or 2 million baht car, right, totally online, right? So we actually trying to find the hybrid version. And again, what we actually come up with, okay, we actually cancel out the dealership business model. So we call it a partner business model. So in the partner business model, I think it totally changed, okay, the role of the dealers. The dealer in the old traditional way, right? You buy car in wholesale price and you sell it at the retail price, and then you make the difference from the margin of the car, right? You also have responsibility to stock the car, managing your fixed and variable costs. In this partnership model, right, all the car that has been sold is belong to Great Wall Motor. Okay, we actually control all the stock. So the role of the dealers have been changing, right, from the middleman, right, buy and sell. Now we change their role to be a service provider. So we want them to actually taking care of the customer at their touch point. And then there are basically 3 key touch points that we want them to focus on. One is to actually focus on the booking process. Second is to focus on the test drive. And then last one is to actually focus on the delivery process. Okay, at each touch point, okay, all the customer satisfaction will be calculated into the score, right? And then that score will turn into the commission or incentive that will automatically pay into their pocket, right? So you get the point here, right? Instead of worrying about buying and selling the car, now focusing on how to provide the best service to the consumer at the touch point. And then we actually integrate this to online and offline, as I mentioned before. We actually build out our own application and website. We also have creating our physical store, which I will show you in a minute. We're also building this test drive experience that is not like the other in the industry, and also building the online purchase experience. One of the other things that we also come and change a lot is changing the paradigm set of how the new product will be launched into the market, right? When you buy the new product, normally you don't get a very good promotion at day one, right? Because the product is still very new, right? They'll just give you a new product and launching with a price. But we actually came up with the new idea, right? This is also came from the insight we received from the consumer doing the survey. So for those who actually clearly trust our brand and see the car, even they have not get a chance to test drive, and then putting the pre-booking here, we create what we call an ultra deal. Okay, the name of the deal will be carried out to every car line. And then at the launch timing here of the pre-sale of the new models, this will be the best deal that the customer will get. So after the launch, the campaign discount, the value of the campaign will be reduced as the time goes by. This is totally changed, okay, the way the industry practiced here. So in this, when we actually launched the Haval H6, we're providing the best-in-class warranty of 5 years, 150,000 kilometers, which is the first in class and best in class in the market at that time. We also provide 0% financing with also free insurance. And then this is interesting here, what we call a GUSI. It's like the BMW BSI, right? So you have the maintenance free for 5 years. So which means that you drive the car, right? Without worrying, right? Just bring the car to the service center, everything free of charge. We're also providing the free delivery and also full with the full tanks of fuel when we deliver the car. This is one of the pain points. Okay, some of the customer get the car only have a quarter of the tank and also half of the tank here. So all the car that we deliver have a full tanks of fuel and deliver to the customer home anywhere in Thailand, because to overcome the unlimited dealer network that we have at the beginning. So I think I still remember, one of the car to the longest one in Satoon, where customer actually making a purchase and then we taking almost 1,000 kilometers deliver to their homes. We're also providing a lot of these new free service, right? We call a pickup and delivery for 4 times. So let the customer actually try out. So I already mentioned here, right? So if you're actually working here in the office now, you do not have time to book for the service time during a Saturday, you can call up using this service. Someone will come in and pick your car, go to the service center, have it maintenance, and bring the car back to you free of charge, okay? Or you want to have the car maintenance at your home, we have the mobile service that can go to your house. So this Ultra deal, okay, has been practiced with the new product launch carrier from the H6 to also Aura Good Cat in the same manner. We also creating a one price policy, right? This is the first time in the market, right, where all the car that get was sold has been sold at one same price and same promotion. Like you actually buy an iPhone, right? You don't have to shop around. So when I go to monitor the feedback from the social media, I saw a lot of interesting topic, right? I think Thai people still searching for the discount. So they want to buy a car, they actually making a post and asking the other friends and people here, where is the best place to actually getting the Haval H6, where is will give the biggest discount. But then the other user will come in and just keep making comment here, but you don't have to shop around, okay? The car is sold in the same price, okay? Same promotion here. Actually, as the time goes by, it's actually help build up the confidence of the brand slowly, and also the customer actually really like it. Not only the customer like it, okay, it also shorten the purchasing decision time, right? Instead of going around 5 or 6 showrooms just to buy the car, right? The customer can go back and make decision right away. The role of the salespeople change because they don't chase up for this, right? We have changed the role of the salespeople to be the people who actually provide the product knowledge, right? And then the finance company, right, who actually work with us also really like it because the approval case and the turnaround case is much faster than the other OEM, right? Which also reduce also the cost of fund, right? We also have created this and then developed this Great Wall Model GWM application here. So I don't have the time to go into this whole thing, but I would say that this is more than a car application here. We have the intention to build this to become one of the super app in Thailand soon. I think they have so many functions in here. One of the functions that's quite interesting here is the community function here. Because I think when you go to buy a car, normally you would like to ask for the opinion, right? You want to get some expert to provide you advice, right? So in order for them to actually go into maybe Pantip, right, they can log in here and then searching for an idea, right? For those who actually buy the car and how they experience the car, good or bad, is actually in these communities forums. We also create an e-commerce feature here, so that automatically once you actually like the car, you can go back home and then book the car totally online. You can select the exterior, the color, the trim level, and also making the payment online. And again, I just want to say that we don't accept cash transaction in any showroom. Okay, you go there, if you take 10,000 baht just to deposit for the car, our frontline people will just say sorry. Okay, you have to do transaction by yourself. Okay, so this is totally different from the others, and all the car, right, will be directly invoiced from Great Wall Motors. So during the COVID, and then right now we're still practicing a door-to-door test drive. So if the customer is not convenient to come to the store nearby, they can also request for the door-to-door test drive. We did that during the COVID, and it is very, very well received in terms of the feedback. Because someone clean up the car, we also have someone providing some of the advice during the test drive process. So when you're actually deciding to book the car, right, we also have the feature for you to track the progress of the car. Right? It's like you're actually buying from Shopee or Lazada now. You know the status exactly now, whether the car is under the production line, the car is on transit, or even the car already live at the store nearby and under the PDI. So that you can actually manage, okay, how do you going to take delivery of the car. We also create a delivery experience totally different from the others. As I mentioned to you, right, the car can be delivered to your place, or you can come to the store nearby to pick up the car. But we also have planned to also implement what we call a premium delivery here, right? So you can actually choose the menu, right, to actually taking the delivery of the car on the special event, right? You can buy the car for your mom in Chiang Mai, or maybe buy the car from your wife on your wedding anniversary. You can just ask that and they will tailor-made it and then deliver right at the doorstep. I think this customer is actually, and I think celebrating a 20 wedding anniversary. So we're very proud to be part of that special moment. So when you actually buy the car, right, one of the features in the application is you can turn this app into a remote control, right? It will actually control the car. It will help you actually turn on the aircon, okay, when you want to get to the car in the parking in the sunshade, right? Or if you forgot to actually to close your window, it will remind you, and you can just automatically close the window to this. It can help you actually locate your car, right? This is a feature that most of the housewives really like it, but not men like us, okay? They will know exactly where you go, okay? So I get asked a lot, okay, whether this feature can be turned off or not. And we also have the feature here, right? So the customer can choose how they want the car to get to be maintained, like I mentioned here. Having someone to come to pick the car, right? And also using the coupon, right? And even in the future here, I think when I say the future is actually next month, we already implemented what we call a smart store, right? Where when the car was actually going to the partner store, you can actually see the repair orders automatically online. You can approve your repair order right away here and monitor the work progress. And you can even see actually the car from the CCTV, how the car gets serviced, and finally make a payment, right? And then they will bring the car finally back to you, totally online, okay? So that will be happen starting next month onward. Again, we already have this mobile service that can go to service at your front doorstep. And the other feature in the app, which is interesting here, what we call point mall. Every transaction, right, that the customer come in and log in, sign in, right, and even share the post or making contents or also provide some comment, we're also getting them some point. So they can collect this point and then also redeem for anything they like in our brand store. So right now we are partnering with the JD Central. Okay, there are so many selection of the merchandise product available for them. And then I think in the future here, we also creating the point for the redemption of the invest anything. This is COVID-19, right? We came in with this almost crazy idea, right? How we actually want to turn this business around. But we also have to actually talk with a lot of investors here, how the new business will be conducted. So I have actually been meeting up with almost 700 companies, almost 1,000 investors, have conducted many sessions to actually explain to them. I think initially I got a lot of the question asked, okay, how this will get implemented, okay, how this will work, okay. There's so many very degree of unbelief, okay, that this will happen. Okay? They would just think that this is very good in the context, like in concept. But when how this is going to get implemented in the real world, okay? So again, I have been facing a challenging time, but again, out of the 700 company here, finally we actually choose only allow 70 here to go with us, right? Those who actually share the same attitude, right? Who actually believe in the same concept. So this is the way that we want to build the new brand. We need to have the same partner that share the same passion and attitude. We create three types of the offline store, right? One of them we call a direct store, which means that the store that is actually totally owned and operated by Great Wall Motor. So right now we have 8 direct store, right, in all the department store. I think nearby we have one in Central Bang Na, right? Seacon Square, Central Rama 2, Central Pin Kao, Central Westgate, right? Silom Complex. I just Future Park also. We also have built one of the experience center, which is quite large, almost 2,500 square meters on Icon Siam. So if you have not visited, I would like also invite you to also have a chance to look at this one. And also, all the dealer in the same traditional one, right, will also convert their showroom, right, to the partner store. We have created, okay, the new role, okay, of this. In the traditional, we call the sales people, right, or sales consultants. But in Great Wall Motor, we're changing the role, what we call them an IAM. IAM stand for Intelligent Ambassador. So they will introduce themselves as I am Jeep, I am Gay, okay? But I think they are just an intelligent ambassador, looks very smart, okay? Their job is only one thing, is to actually introduce and get you to know our product better. They're not pushing you to sell a book, anything, right? Totally it's free of your choice, okay? You understand everything. They will help you conduct a proper test drive, okay? And then all the process after that is totally happened by us. Part of the becoming an XEV leadership is also building the infrastructure to support Thailand in the EV space. Okay, we also invest massively to build one of the flagship G-Charge station at Siam Square. So this is one of the biggest, I think, charging station in Thailand, right, with the very huge 160 kilowatt charger here. So if you have gone to visit Siam Square, you can actually charging the car here and walk to one of our direct store, which is just opposite it. I also like to actually say a little bit here about this cooperation here, because one of the pain points of the Thai consumer here owning an electric vehicle here is you have to download almost 10 to 12 applications of many various vendors to actually locate for the charging station nearby, right? So we have an idea and then we actually implement now to actually integrate all the charging station into our application now. So right now, by end of this year, we will have around 85 of the whole charging station in our application. And in the charging application here, we will actually help you to navigate, search, and also evenly serve for the parking, for the charging station. And then you can go to that and then just make a payment. And then one of the things that's quite good is about our charging station here is our charging station is open up 24 hours for any brand, not only just for Great Wall Motor. If you actually drive a BMW or even the Mercedes-Benz, you are welcome to actually go to our charging station. But you just need to download the application. From the user-centric point of view, okay, I will go very fast. This is totally the way we actually change the perspective of how brand interact with the user, right? In the old traditional way, right? Normally, the people who actually get to know the consumer here is your dealers, right? Dealer will conduct various activity, and the brand will actually somewhere. For me, the brand is a person. The brand need to build a personal connection to the consumer here. So we have changed our EC Experience Center at Icon Siam to be a truly activity center. We have the calendar to create activities almost every week. Okay, and there's so many other activities here. I probably don't have time to actually go into this, but this is one of the last Christmas party. We actually invite unfortunate children in nearby to have a special moment with our brand. Sorry, I have to skip it very quickly. And we also have turned our EC to be a New Year's gathering space for our users, okay, so that they can enjoy the parties and also watching the firework on the New Year Eve. We also conduct a movie night, okay, and we also conduct a lot of the activity for the ladies under the Chi series, okay. Like we also having a running donation, okay. For that you can run and providing donation to the foundation that you want. We also have the celebrity to provide some of the motivation speech and also self-improvement. And then we also create a special moment for our user. This is one of our user here, right? After going to a series of contests, okay, they actually been chosen, right, to having a two moment to celebrate their Valentine with their loved one, right? We also conduct so many kind of the activities, okay, firework decorations, DIY, hand keys and everything, okay. I have to skip it, but I think if you have a chance, you can load our application and go to the activity section here, and you can even reserve that. You don't need to actually own Great Wall Motor Car, but you can also join this kind of activities, right? Sorry to skip it very fast, but one of the activity that I like to also presenting more here is we actually create this called user volunteer activity here. This is the first time in the market where we actually ask the user to raise their hand and providing to be a volunteer doing the big motor show, for example. So the customer will be able to talk to the real user who actually using the car, right? They will be able to actually really hear the comments about either good or bad of the car. We think that providing the full transparency and honesty, right, will actually show the sincerity of the brand. And then this campaign has been very successful. I think for this coming Motor Expo, I think next week, I already have almost 50 users raise their hand to join. And the last activity here, doesn't move, is the activity called Let's Talk, okay? You will actually see, right, the brand create this kind of the event where the user can actually talk to the management directly here. So actually conduct this event almost on a quarterly basis, right? Gathering all the questions and problems from the user, even from the social media, right? And they are sitting down with them 3 hours, talking and go to point by point. And some of the problem that we can solve, we will tell them how we're going to fix it. Some of that we tell them, right, honestly here, okay, what will be the potential solution. So by showing this sincerity here, the customer really like the way the brand open up and then being very transparent to them. So with that result, okay, we have been very successful with all the new product launch. This is the good example of when we launched the first time, the first product, Power S6. We have received almost 2,000 orders within 24 hours. And then this is one of the, I would call the phenomenon. Our website totally went down in the first 5 minutes of booking here. We have received almost 4,300 booking of Good Cat in the first 24 hours. And then a total of the 10 days, we have accumulated almost 15,000 orders received from nationwide. And then this is one just happened in June, right? When we actually launching the Good Cat GT, which is a sport version of the Aura. And then we actually have only 500 unit quota. And then everything's gone up in 58 minutes. And the last product launch that we just launched, I think in October, is the Haval plug-in hybrid. This is a hybrid plug-in hybrid version of the Haval H6. And the market size is actually very small. If you go there and see that the plug-in is actually less than 100 a month. But we have been receiving almost 3,000 unit booking in the first 24 hours. In July, we just actually celebrate the 10,000 unit delivery of the Jolion to our customer. And at the same time, we're also celebrating the production line-off at our plant in Rayong. So to sum up, I think out of the 3 product lines that we actually launched, we are ranking number 1 in the compact SUV market, which is the Haval H6, right? Surpassing the market leader like Honda CR-V and MG HS. And then in this year, we actually ranking number 1, 10 months in a row since the beginning of the year. Aura Good Cat, okay, we are ranking number 1 from the BEV market segment, okay, which our market share almost 47% right now. Okay, we still build up the way on the new product that we just launched last year, a small SUV called Jolion. So this going to be just our achievement forecast by end of this year. So we were going to have around more than 1 million fan page, okay, from our social platform, okay, exceeding 1 million. I think it's already exceeding 1 million just 2 days ago. And we're going to have accumulate around 150,000 user registration in our application. Okay, this is huge, and for me this is big. And normal daily active user is around 12.5%, meaning that I think every day we have around almost 15,000 people engaging in our platform, sharing the social posts, making conversation here. I will tell you a little bit more about this one, okay, for me. For me, the application and the number of users will indicate the way we'll go up the band in the future here. Because at the back end, right, we have built in the AI algorithm here, so that we can really detect the signal of the lead that coming in. So meaning that you may have actually owned Honda CR-V or maybe Honda Civic today, right? And then come in here and then maybe gone for another 6 months and then come back here again, follow some posts, making some comments, right? I think the AI will be able to detect the signal, right? After that, and show some interest of your product that you actually follow and be able to serve the content right directly to you. Right, so we have building that kind of the intelligence system to actually lower the operating cost of the lead acquisition in the future. And again, by end of this year, we will have a total of 80 stores and 5 product launches, and the total sale volume of 12,500 units by year end. And yet, we have already introduced 5 new products into Thai market in the last 18 months. Okay, this is not a mobile phone. Okay, launching the car, 5 products already, and then we have a commitment to actually launch 4 new products in next year. Okay, so for those who are actually working for me, be prepared. Okay, and again, looking this, okay, we can see a lot of the success here, but along the line, in the last 2 years, we have been facing a lot of these challenges here, starting with COVID-19, managing this microchip supply shortage, right? Supply chain disruption, also the rising cost of the batteries and DMS, right? The demands and all the logistic bottlenecks. The China is completely locked down. The whole logistic has been shut down. So we also have to manage on that side because a lot of part is also imported from China. There also an uncertainty degree of the government's policy, and then also the time to actually making the partners or the investor understand about the new business model. For me, I like this. I very like this quote, right, by Charles Darwin, that said that it's not about the strongest of the species that will survive, but the one that are responsive to the change, right? For us at that time, right, I mentioned to Grant and Deb when we first met here, it's not the choice, right? When we make decision to actually adapt the new business model, for us it's either do or die, okay? We can starting the business simply by starting a dealership business model, but there's no way back. If you want to change, you have to make the drastic change and have to make the big decision since day one. And that decision will be painful, right? There will be a lot of preparation, there will be a lot of work, but you need to set your rules of the game. You cannot just follow the other rules if you want to be the clear winner in this market. So to sum up here, I have just a quick video just to show you, right, some of the journey that we've been through and then the progress that we make in the last year. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. I know we're running out of time, right? I tried just to compact the 3 hours into, cannot make it in 20 minutes, okay? Sorry about that. So now I'm ready to take some of the questions from the floor, if there's any questions. Well, you have time for questions?
Yeah, if they've got questions, then they can, but while they're thinking about them, if they do, I've just got to say congratulations, Khun Narong, on what you've achieved in the time that you have. I know the automotive industry, and I know about managing the processes that you need to go through, but to put all of that together in the time frame that you did over a COVID period, and most importantly, execute against that and be able to deliver on it is just fabulous. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think a question there.
I just noticed a lot of your marketing seems to be aimed at women, and I was curious if women are a big decision maker on buying cars in general, and if they're a bigger decision maker buying your cars than others.
You mean women?
Women.
Well, it's actually vary on a car line basis, right? Obviously, in Aura Good Cat, yes, we have a lot of the females, ladies, actually. But when we move to the Joe Lion, our main target audience is actually a male who actually looking for a value technology SUV, where we think we are the only probably one that can provide that kind of the SUV in the market. So to answer your question, it's a mix. Okay. Yep.
How did you come up with some of the ideas, like the user volunteers, which I think is really interesting and great? Like, do you have workshops, or do you hire consultants, or how do you do it internally, or how do you come up with these ideas?
Good question. Again, as I mentioned here, we have do a lot of benchmarking with the other brand, and we also recruiting a diverse team, both Thai and Chinese. So our people are not only came from the automotive industry here. I also got the Chinese colleague who came from NIO, who came from Xiaopeng or Tesla, right, or even Lazada here, right? So I think one of the idea that came up here is also the idea that actually implement in China with NIO, right? So we're trying to actually learn something, right, and then be able to adapt that ideas into the Thai market, right?
Any last questions?
Yeah.
I'll echo everybody's sentiment. I thought you've done an amazing job. I think that one of the questions I have, being a Chinese and a Thai company, with obviously there's going to be a lot of cultural challenges to get people to work on the same page. How have you guys done that?
Wow, very good question. I guess I have a lot by this question here, right? How do we integrate the cultural work here? Again, I guess that this is more on how we start off with become appreciate, right, on the different of the culture here, right. I actually came from the Western culture, right. I'm working on the Western company. I get used to the Western culture here. So for me, I think the Western culture is actually focus less, okay. Right, they're actually looking for efficiency here, right? They don't need to put much effort in here. But in the Chinese environment, you need to put hours in here, right? In order to show that you actually put in the effort, right? So we have to mix, and then we have to actually align this kind of the understanding here. At some night, I think at the lunch, I think one of my teammates also stay up at almost 1 or 2 a.m. at night, right? Trying to getting this thing done. But I think that with the level of passion, right? Because we know we are changing something, we are doing something big, right? The objective of us is just only not just launching the car, but we want to do something actually big into this market. So I think the team that actually start up the business are full of passion here, right? So that's why we actually really getting done at the beginning here. But managing the growing organization here with this cultural difference is still one of the challenging tasks that I actually working on right now. But again, I really truly now starting to learn about how the Chinese work, and then I think I see some of the good things in it, right? And then we're trying to integrate that into one of the what we call one Great Wall model culture. Okay. All right.
Great. Thank you very much. And
thank you so much. Thank you very much.
I love the presentation. Okay, it's break time, everyone. Take the time. There is the cafe outside from True, which you can get all your sorts of coffees and so forth, and bakeries. So take 10 to 15 minutes because we're running a little bit behind. I know the speakers, I think most of them will be around, so if you've got other questions, you can grab them outside and ask them whatever questions you want. And we'll be back here in about 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you very much.
As this camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One. Light. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Time.
Okay, we're good.
Camera. Thank you.
Ready, sir? Yes, so you can spin it.
Yeah, 1, 2. Thank you.
แล้วหันมาทางนี้ก็เปรี้ยวก็ได้
Hey. professional โอเคมา
All right.
อาจจะตกต่อเลยใช่ไหมครับอย่าไปเข้าไปต่อ
How are you? Which one am I looking at? Good? Yeah. Oh, the Judy's coming too. I told her to come. No, I didn't know whether she was going to come.
Bạn ơi, bạn ơi, có cả đi cả thế này, thế con thế này. Bạn cái này.
Well, I mean, just in the last year, like we finally got
I didn't even know this until it came up.
1 2 3นะขอดูรูปก่อนโอเคครับพร้อมมี1 2 3ขอกดไลค์ด้วย1 2 2 3สุดตา2 โอเคครับคุณครับ